everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about this little look I've got going on here. It's my annual festive glam look, but using all drugstore, apart from a few products, and I will show you what ones they are and I'll tell you why they're not drugstore. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I mean, a lot of these products I absolutely love. I even tried some newer brushes. I got some brushes from Spectrum, and there's only a few I didn't use. But yeah, I love these so far. But yeah, if you want to see how I got this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Okay, I've got the froggy ears on. I apologise because you can see my mirror throughout this video. I am very sorry. I probably could use a handheld mirror instead, but that's just not me. So I thought I'd try and keep this video as drugstore as possible because you all know how expensive things can get, and I know I personally at this time of the year love to use my high-end products because like around this time of year, my birthday, I feel like that's just special. But I do have one high-end product actually two technically high-end products in this entire lineup, technically three. I apologise, but honestly, I'm going to give you some drugstore substitutes for a few of them because, I mean, yeah, there are drugstore substitutes for them. However, I just don't have them because I love the higher end version a lot more. So I'm just going to tell you straight out of the bat that I have prepped my skin. I was about to say I used my normal skincare routine, but that's a lie. But I did... I like wash my face with like just water basically, and eye cream, vitamin C, and a moisturiser with SPF in it. I'm trying to use up one of the ones I have. So first off, where is my primer? Here it is. So I recently, God, I'm just trying to move everything away a little bit because everything is kind of in my way. Recently, or as of recently, I have been using I've been doing a bit of a different base routine to what I used to do. I'm basically using two primers. Sometimes I used to use two. Actually, technically I've got three. It just depends on what kind of a base you're looking for. So I have one of my favourite drugstore grippy primers. This is e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. This is the kind of primer I'd use if I want my makeup to last. And I have used a fair amount of this. Like, this is, I mean, that is how far down I am. I think this is a pretty similar to the newer one, is it Power Grip? The blue one. I'll pop a picture on screen like here. But yeah, this is one of my favourite grippy primers from the drugstore. I also think if you use a hydrating primer. I love this. This is the Primark Prep and Perfect Vitamin Enriched Moisturising Primer. I have spoken about this so much. I've only used this like 4 or 5 times, but every time my makeup just looks flawless. But it depends on what kind of a base you're looking for. Are you looking for your makeup to last if you've got oilier skin, or are you looking for it to be moisturised? I've already put a moisturiser on, so this is actually going back in my makeup bag. I've got my makeup bag on the floor. There's no other space. I just curled my hair so my colours are everywhere. And so I'm going to put on a bit of this. You do need to let it set for like 5 minutes. So I will do that. But yeah, I just pop this everywhere. This is a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip. And I think also the new e.l.f. one, the Power Grip one, is also a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip. Which, if you guys know, is my favourite primer of all time. And I would use that over this one. But this is drugstore, so while I'm letting that sort of tack, like you need to let it like sit for a good like few minutes before you do anything else. This is probably where you do like your foundation, your eyeshadow, eyebrows or something. But yeah, I just thought I'd talk about the next product. So the next product I use is more of like a glowier base. Recently I have been using a more glowy base, and I've got oily skin and I can't get my glow from a foundation. I have to use something like this. So everyone knows the Charlotte Tilbury product. Everyone knows the e.l.f. Halo Glow dupe. I don't have that, it's out of stock. I really love this one from Collection, the Filter Finish one. Complexion boosting primer and illuminator. I think there's also a Maybelline one, which I do have right here, but it's not the same. Really not the same. Just saying. But yeah, this comes with a wand. I've got mine in the shade, I think mine's the lightest shade. Yeah, fair one. And I just pop this on my higher points of my face, like more towards like the outside. Put a little bit down there, and then I go in with a brush. This is a Beauty Bay brush. It's a foundation brush. Please excuse the state of my brushes. I need to clean them. I will clean them later. But yeah, I just basically like tap this in, rub it in with a brush. People use their hands. I use a brush. It just makes my life easier. But yeah, I actually really like that product. I've just been using the Charlotte Tilbury one just to use it up. My hair is really annoying me today. But yeah, can you see the glow it leaves? But I only put this on the outside. I don't put it in my T-zone. Like, well, I put it a little bit here, but I get oily here. So avoid that just in case it oils. And yeah, basically. The next thing I go in with while my primers are setting is a concealer that's in a pot. Now, I know that there's products out there that are drugstores of this. This is a NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Now, there are dupes. There are definitely dupes for this product. I use this one only. This is the best one that I found anyway. I mean, I only use this type of concealer in one way. Pardon me. I will never ever use up a full size of any others. But yeah, I use this in the shade Light 1 Chantilly. And I go in and spot conceal. And I literally just take it like that. I use like a concealer brush. This is for Fenty one. You don't have to use high-end brushes. I love high-end brushes personally. I don't know why. I just feel like they're luxury. I do have some other brushes actually that I'm going to incorporate. I'm just going to get them out. I was saving these to use in this video. Yeah, I forgot already that they existed. These are the Spectrum Festive Glam brushes. These are their Christmas ones. They are on TikTok Shop in like their mystery box. You can still get them. By the time you're watching this, I think they're still available. But I mean, I know Christmas is in like a couple of days when you're watching this, if you're watching this on time. But I don't think I would have used any of these brushes so far anyway. But and I don't think I'm going to use any just yet. So, but yeah, I just let that sort of sit under my foundation, just because, you know, it's just, I have a lot of like redness, like a lot of spots. I don't do this like every time I do my makeup, but if I'm doing like a glam look or like a look where I need my foundation to cancel everything out, I would do this. I mean, some spots are just stubborn, but I mean, I think for the most part I'm okay. But foundation, I love this foundation. This is one of my favorites. I actually have two from L'Oreal. The other one is here. My favorite L'Oreal foundation is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum. This is my absolute favorite foundation from them. I am trying to use up other products as well, like go for everything, but that's more of like a tint. If you can hear like a weird noise, by the way, it's my cat trying to get into the cupboards in the kitchen again every day. But this is my favourite like actual foundation from the drugstore, whereas that's like a tinted serum. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I love this. This is my third bottle of this, I think. It's one of my favourites. I've got mine in the shade Porcelain 15, and I go in with a mixture of a brush and a sponge depending on my mood. And depending on the foundation. This is my IT Cosmetics Love of the Foundation brush. Can we please not look at how disgusting it is? Thank you. But I just realised I haven't closed that properly. This is my Coco Cosmetics by Chloe sponge. I've got 4 more in here. I love them. I need to sort that out actually because that needs to go in my drawer. But I love this. I'm just put on my face 2 pumps of this. I haven't used this in ages. I think it sort of went hard in there. But yeah, we just dot this around. It's quite a thin formula, but it gives really good coverage. And yeah, I just really enjoy this foundation. It's thin, lightweight. Okay, now my foundation is applied. You can sort of see its medium coverage. I mean, this spot, I think this spot does not want to be covered, because even with the NARS concealer and this foundation, it still doesn't want to cover. I mean, this is a medium coverage foundation. That's just, I think when they had this before, it was full coverage, but they've reformulated it. I prefer it like this, to be fair. I mean, it's more thin, more lightweight. It's one of my favourite foundations at the drugstore, or Superdrug Boots. It has 25 SPF 25 in it, by the way, just let you know. Concealer. I love using liquid concealer as well as that pot concealer. To be fair, I use the pot concealer just like, you know, where I had it. I've got a few concealers that I actually enjoy. This one is my favourite concealer from the drugstore. It's the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. It's really good. Can you tell I love it? It's got like a bit coming out, not coming out of it, a bit can see where I've like used up a lot of it. I have that in the shade 115 Light Nude. I think I need a paler shade than this, because this is not good for under eyes. I've got the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in number 3 Ivory. And I also have this Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Longwear Concealer. It's crease proof with niacinamide infinite concealer. That's a mouthful. Got mine the C2. I'm going to use a bit of collection underneath my eyes, just because I think this is the palest one out of all of them. And I used to never ever use concealer under my eyes, because I don't really have darkness, but I feel like I just need a bit of brightening, you know. And I'm just going to use a bit of this one, this Revolution one, on the rest of my face, because yes, that foundation was medium coverage, and I have spots on my face, and I am a spotty gal. See, even with that Revolution concealer, this spot ain't covering. Maybe if I use a bit of my Milani one, it might do something else, but I doubt it. This is like a medium coverage one, whereas the Revolution one is more of a, you know, there. Using my brush just to dab it a little bit, and then going with the sponge. Okay, that did a little bit. So the next part of my routine, oh god, I'm just like seeing. Oh, by the way, I also go right round in the crevices of my nose with anything that's left over from the concealer, just because my nose tends to like rub off, like around my nose, like around like here, you know. Yeah, so what was I saying? I don't even know anymore. But yeah, that spot doesn't want to cover. But my next part of my routine is cream bronzer. I've got a couple that I like. I mean, this isn't technically drugstore. This is £16. I mean, it's not high-end price. It's still technically drugstore pricing, like lower end pricing. You can get this on Beauty Bay and TikTok. TikTok, you do it for cheaper. This is the Made by Mitchell blush in the bronze one. This is in Hollow there. I feel like it's a bit too pale. I don't know. I might try that first. If not, I do have another one. This is like £6, this one. Revolution Cream Bronzer. I've got mine in the shade Light. It's very pretty. But I'm going to apply a little bit of the blush first, and then go in with the Revolution one if I need a bit more bronzer. But in winter time, I like a little bit less bronzer and a little bit more blush. So yeah, I'm just going to use this on a Made by Mitchell brush. This is the MF4. I got this. Oh, the paint's sort of coming off on the bottom. Is that paint coming off, or is that like something else? I don't even know. This is like a very small like brush. I mean, you could use I don't think you could, I mean, you could probably use like one of these ones, but this is just my favorite one. All right. So I'm just going to apply some of this. Okay, like the name suggests, it's hollow. It's kind of like a contoury shade, like a mixture between contour and bronzer, which I would love if, like, I mean, I know I'm going over powder bronzer later anyway, but like, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the Revolution one. Just dab off the excess onto my hand. You can see the colour, but just like here, a little bit, like just round the edges, just like dabbing off my brush in between. And then what I really like to do with my cream bronzers and cream blushes is take like the flat side of my sponge and just like go over and just like press in, just to like mesh it with the foundation more. Like, there we go, that's better. And then the next step is cream blush. Now again, got another Made by Mitchell product. Now the Made by Mitchell blushes are one of my favourite formulas, and again, I know they're £16. I've got foundation everywhere, but I have a dupe. This is from Shein. This is the Glam liquid blushes, the Colour Bloom liquid blushes, and I really love these. As you guys know, they're like £3 or £4 from Shein. I love Shein. If you don't feel comfortable using their makeup though, I think Revolution do really good ones as well. But I've got the blush from Made by Mitchell in the shade Peach Sugar. I've got foundation all over it somehow. I have no idea. This is in Peach Sugar. It's one of my favourite shades from them. But okay, that's a lot that's on that side. This is one of the first blushes I bought, I think. And I'm just going to apply some there. Where's my brush? This is actually an e.l.f. brush, wherever it is. An e.l.f. buffing brush. Ultimate blending brush. And I literally just like stamp this like this and like go round. There's like, you don't need a whole lot of this product to get payoff. And then whatever's on the tip of my brush, I'm just gonna take it on the tip of my nose, and then I'm gonna go in with my sponge again, just to dial it down a little bit and melt it into my face, and then take the side that you used with your foundation on and just go over it a little bit here, just to dial it down a little bit, you know. And that's literally how I do my blush at the moment, because sometimes it is a bit too intense. All right, I'll put things down, and I'm just going to go in with my Beauty Bay eye base in shade 2, and I normally set my eyelids with a pressed powder, and I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte, because currently I'm using a Charlotte Tilbury product, and that is not drugstore. This powder is very matte. I mean, you could use this all over your entire face as a pressed powder. I used to do that because it makes my face really matte. However, I love a loose powder me. Everything's fallen. Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. You can only get this in the US unless you get it on Amazon from the UK. It's a little bit more on Amazon than in the UK than if you got it overseas. However, this is a really, really good drugstore powder. It's one of my favourites. I prefer high-end, not gonna lie. If you guys know of a really good loose powder that's from the drugstore, please let me know, because I'm trying to find one. I'm just trying to go through all my powders first. But this is in the shade Fair. And I just set my entire rest of my face with this. Oh, I also went around my eyes, like under eyes. I like re-blended out my under eyes with the sponge, and then like set them with that Rimmel powder. I do that because it looks a little bit less heavy than when you use loose powder. I don't know why, that, especially like the Charlotte Tilbury one. we are now set. Set it and forget it. Except we're not going to forget it because we're not done. I then go in, because my face, if you can see, oh, I've got it all down my shirt, lovely. If you can see up close, my face looks very powdery and like very, very matte, which is good in the whole sense of keeping your foundation, like, sorry, I've missed a bit, I think. It's very good in keeping your foundation like in place, especially with oily skin. However, it's not good for the powderiness situation, especially around my nose, because I put a lot of powder here to make sure my foundation lasts there. But I go in with like a dewier setting spray / a skincare spray. This is the I Heart Revolution Fixing Spray in Peaches and Cream. I do really enjoy this, just not as a fixing spray, just as a bring your face back to life spray. I look very washed out in this video. I don't know why. I'm filming in natural light. That's could be it. And I generously spray. I do really like this one. It smells really good. It's meant to be a fixing spray. Again, I use it as a... I don't use it as a fixing spray. I use it as a bring your face back to life spray. And now while we wait for that to dry, if I don't use eyeshadow, I'll just like wait a little bit and go straight in with like the rest of my base. However, I'm doing eyeshadow. I know this looks a bit intimidating. It's a festive, like neutrally glam kind of a look. I completely understand that. Oh god. This is the Beauty Bay Fiery 16 colour palette. This is what it looks like. I know, there's reds. We're just sticking to the more warm tone browns, alright? You could just use your bronzer, honestly, in the crease or something, I don't know. But use any palette you want. I have been using the Soft Glam by ABH, but then I was like, that's not drugstore. I have the sort of kind of drugstore palette. I think these are less than 20 quid, I think, for these ones. For this size. This is such good quality. The smaller 9 pans are like £8 or £9. Why am I so burpy today? What's going on? Let me see what eyeshadow brushes I've got. Ooh, that would be a good brush, actually. I've got this Spectrum one is an A29. This is just a massive ass, like, fluffy brush. And I'm just going to take, like, a mixture of... What's this one even called? I can't see it. Peaches and Cream and Honey Roast are these two. I'm just going to mix these two together and sort of, like, go in my crease with these and just like build them up to like, I don't know, like a nice brown. Okay, I added a bit to underneath my eyes, and I added a bit more of that Honey Roast shade, like, in my crease. And then you could literally just do this with bronzer and just leave it, but I'm not a girl. I need to sneeze. Ouchies, that hurt. And then I'm just going to take another brush. I think we're then just going to take this one, which is like a fluffy crease, like, flat brush. This is the A40. I'm going to take the shade Caramel Sauce, which is, oh god, I just got another eyeshadow on my finger. It's this one here, it's like a brown, and I'm just going to take this a little bit in the crease and then a little bit on my outer corner. A bit like that in my crease. And then just like that. And taking that first brush, I'm just going to blend out in my crease again, just because I feel like I made a bit of a harsh line. And then you could leave that there, which I think I'm going to today. If not, I'd use this Chocolate Sauce shade, this one here, this warm brown, in my crease, in my outer corner. But I'm just leaving it at that for now. Please excuse the fact that I did this with my mirror. I am blind as a bat. I have to wear glasses usually, and I can't see this far away. I have to like lean in. So there's that. Now you could use the same palette that you just used. I'm gonna add a bit of gold like shimmer to my lid. I mean, this shade, what is it called? Adorn, is beautiful for this. However, I have got a whole ass separate eyeshadow for this, and this is the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Golden Hour. This is stunning, and I'm just going to tap this on my lid. I just wanted to add some gold in there, you know, gold around Christmas time is the way. Like, red and gold is the way to go with Christmas. Just be careful. I mean, I'd use a brush if you're not very careful with your eyeshadows. But something a little bit like that, you know, just to add a bit of sparkle. I love a bit of sparkle around this time of year. And it'll pair well with the lip colour we're using in a minute. Okay, so now I just wiped off the foundation for my lips, as you just saw. Now we're doing the rest of the base. So I have got my bronzer. I absolutely love this bronzer. Where is my bronzer brush? Oh, here it is. Actually, you know what? So I normally use this Fenty bronzer brush as my bronzer brush, but this one looks like a really good bronzer brush. This is the Spectrum C07. This looks pretty similar. I mean, it looks a bit more fluffy, which, to be fair, I need the fluffiness with my bronzer, but this is such a good drugstore bronzer. I hated it at first because I thought, oh my god, too pigmented. It's really good if you don't use as much. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Matte Bronzer. I have mine in the shade Light. This is very pigmented. Like, that was one swipe. It's so pigmented. Just dip and tap the fuck out of it, because holy shit, it is very, very pigmented. And you really do not need a lot. I hated it at first, like I said, because I felt like it was too much. But upon further testing, it's not. It's actually really nice. If you tap it off and you don't, like, you know, because it is a very soft formula. But yeah, literally just add a bit more around your hairline and stuff. Wherever you put bronzer, you do not have to put it where I put it. I mean, someone else might think, why is she putting bronzer there? But that's just me. And then blush. I freaking love blush. I normally use my Primark blush brush, but I feel like this is the tapered blush brush, but I feel like this is just a bit too, like, I don't know what the word is, but we do have another brush. Actually, this is the smaller version of the one we just used. I mean, I also have an angle brush I could use, but I think this one for blush would be very pretty. So this is the A26 brush from Spectrum, and this is the Milani blush in Coral Cove. Look how stunning, if I can get into it, this is. It's like, it's kind of got a sheen to it. It kind of matches the brush a little bit. I mean, this is a bit like darker and this is a bit lighter, but this is such a good drugstore blush. And I just want to add a bit more colour. I mean, I did take a bit of colour away when I, one, went over it with the sponge, and two, when I powdered. And I feel like I've now put a shit ton on my nose again. What is wrong with me? I'm just going to take my powder brush and just do this. I feel like I need to add a little bit more blush to my nose for it to not look as weird. Is there anyone else? I don't know, because I feel like just there is a bit weird. Anyway, highlighter. Did I even take out a highlighter? I did. So I don't have many drugstore highlighters in the slightest. One of them is this Glow Commotion highlighter for W7, but it's smashed. Dropped it on the floor. I love this by Soph. This is technically £4 per pan. Well, it's not technically. It is. This is the Glow. This is the Soph X Revolution like Glow Duo. Mine's in the shade Cookies and Cream. Can we please appreciate? Can we please appreciate? You've got more of like a baked in your face colour, which is more gold, and you've got more like a subtle sheen. On my Spectrum, what brush is this one? B08. I'm going to take that Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am shade, and I'm just going to liberally coat my brush, tap off, and apply it. Like, I love this highlighter. It's one of my favourite drugstore and high-end highlighters, to be honest with you. I just don't use it as much because it's a duo. I feel like I can't. I mean, I could take it with me places, but I have a completely other, like, I have a palette I would take, like, with blushes and stuff in it as well, that I would rather take. And then, have I got a little... Oh, I do have a little packer brush. Oh my god, I drop everything. The little packer brush, one of them in here. Like a little small packer brush. This is the Spectrum A16. I don't know why I'm saying Spectrum when you know it's Spectrum. And I'm just going to take that Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am shade and go in my inner corner a little bit. I know we put the gold on the lid, but just to add something to my inner corner. And then I'm going to take the softer colour and just go under my brow. We are getting to brows, don't you worry. Okay, next is brows. You'll be pleased to know. Well, I've got one more step in between brows. So my next step is setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. I do really like this. I've only used this a few times because I've been going through my setting sprays. Trying to use all of them up. But yeah, this is one that is from the drugstore. I actually really like it. The mist is super fine. And now we do eyebrows. So I actually picked up some new ones, some new products. They're not actually new to me, but like they're brand new because I haven't used them yet. It's kind of brand new they are. One is the NYX Thick It Stick It in the shade Brunette because my one ran out. My one was a bit crusty where I hadn't used it for ages because I'd been using the black shade rather than the brown shade. Hi, if you're new here, I did have brown hair. I did have black hair a few weeks ago, a few videos ago actually. Not even that, I think the last video you saw of me was me dyeing my hair black, from black to brown. And then I also have the Micro Brow Pencil from NYX in the shade Ash Brown. Now we find the spoolie end, take the cap off so you know what's what. I'm just going to do my brows. So I do the pencil and then the Thick It Stick It, and then I set them a little bit later on. A good colour match. There we go. I could talk about this brow gel for so long. It just adds like thickness and like a bit of like, you know, I don't know what that was. It just adds a bit of something as well as like a bit of colour. I mean, my brows are brown anyway, but like, you know. What am I doing next? Mascara / I have what's this called? Oh my god. Eyeliner pencil. Oh my god. I think this is high-end pricing. It is, I think, but this is one of the best eyeliner like smudge pencils you can get. I think NYX do like a really nice thick pencil as well, but these are the Vive eye ones. Mine's in the shade Camel, just to line the bottoms of my eyes really. To add something, and I don't want black, I just want like a neutrally like light brown, just to tie in the eyes. And then it's mascara, going in with one of my absolute favourite drugstore mascaras, and that is the Maybelline Lash Sensational in waterproof. I need a new one of these, I think, because mine seems to be crusting. There we go. Lashes are on. I just, what I do is I do my top lashes and my bottom lashes, and then I dunk back in and I do my top lashes again, if you're curious. And then we've got eyebrow gel. I know I've done a coloured gel, but I go in with a like hold gel. I need to try some more from the drugstore, I think. Because this is the only drugstore one I have. This is the Got to Be glued for brows and edges gel. But yeah, this is just clear. I just run this through. I don't do anything special. I just run it through, and like any eyebrows that are like eyebrow hairs that are like flicking up, I like push them, not push them down, but like I sort of run around the edges and like put them down. Does that make sense? Like that one's fine. And then yeah, that is literally my eyebrows. My eyebrows are simple. I could just use the Thick It Stick It from NYX, just put my bra up because my bra's moved. Yeah, and then the last step is what we came here for. It's the red. I don't actually have a drugstore red lipstick. Do I? I think I do. I do. Oh my god, I do. I forgot I had this. My favourite one, and it's not drugstore, is Fenty. I've got two from Fenty that are red. I've got a dark one, which is in the shade Underdog, and then a brighter one, which is in the shade Uncensored. Uncensored would definitely be a more Christmas red. But I have this, and I haven't even cracked into it yet. It's a Revolution lip cream. I can even get into it. There we go. I've not used this yet. I don't know how the formula is, but this looks like a really nice red. I've then also got the Revlon Colour Stay Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Plum. It's like a dark red. I'm just going to apply this around the edges first. I kind of fluffed up there because I just like went round and like smudged a little bit. Didn't mean to do that. Let's just go around with my concealer brush a little bit and hope for the best. Okay, and then so yeah, this is the Revolution lip cream in the shade Cherry. This smells like cherry. What the fuck? I hope this dries down. That is so pretty. Very bright, but very pretty. But yeah, and that concludes the Festive Glam. I'll do the outro. Well, there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me showing you a bit of a Festive Glam look. I don't think it's any different from last year. I mean, apart from the fact that it's all drugstore, I thought that would be a good, like, I don't know, I just feel like drugstore would be easiest so everyone can get their hands on it if they're recreating. And it's a cheaper alternative, I guess. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.